Strategic Management, Presentation Number 3, Amazon. Presented by Vichra, Vorn, David Valenzuela, Tran, K. Baker, and Mariah Cano.
When we apply the build, borrow, buy framework to Amazon, it becomes clear that the company uses all three approaches strategically, depending on where it sees the greatest long-term value. Starting with build, Amazon develops many of its most important capabilities internally. A strong example is AWS, which was launched in 2006. According to Amazon's 2023 annual report, AWS generated over $90 billion in revenue and accounted for roughly 70% of the company's total operating income. That tells us that AWS is not just a side business. It is a core capability that Amazon intentionally built over time. The company has also built its global fulfillment and logistics network internally, which now includes more than 1,000 facilities worldwide. That infrastructure directly supports its cost leadership strategy and fast delivery promise. In addition, Amazon continuously builds its artificial intelligence systems, recommendation algorithms, and voice technology such as Alexa, which strengthen personalization and customer engagement. Borrowing plays a different but equally important role. Rather than owning every activity, Amazon leverages partnerships to scale efficiently. Third-party sellers now account for more than 60% of total unit sales on the platform, based on shareholder disclosures. Instead of carrying all inventory itself, Amazon allows independent sellers to expand product variety while still collecting fees and maintaining control of the platform. The company also uses its delivery service partner program, which supports more than 200,000 drivers globally. This allows Amazon to expand delivery capacity without vertically integrating every component. Prime Video also borrows value through content licensing agreements that complement Amazon's original programming. Then we see buy as a way to accelerate entry into new industries. The acquisition of Whole Foods in 2017 for $13.7 billion allowed Amazon to enter the grocery market quickly rather than building stores from scratch. More recently, the acquisition of MGM Studios for $8.5 billion strengthened its streaming content portfolio. Other acquisitions such as Ring and Twitch expanded Amazon's capabilities in smart home technology and live streaming. These purchases allowed Amazon to move faster into adjacent industries and gain established customer bases. Looking at all three together, Amazon builds when developing core strategic capabilities, borrows when scaling its ecosystem efficiently, and buys when speed to market and competitive positioning are critical. The framework shows that Amazon expansion strategy is deliberate and structured rather than opportunistic.
Amazon has strategically used both horizontal and vertical integration to strengthen its competitive position, consistent with the corporate level strategies discussed in Lecture 9. On the horizontal integration side, Amazon has acquired firms operating at the same stage of the value chain. For example, the acquisition of Whole Foods allowed Amazon to enter brick-and-mortar grocery retail, directly competing with traditional grocery chains. This reduced competitive intensity while allowing the expansion of Amazon's physical presence. Similarly, acquiring Zappos strengthened its position in online apparel retail, and MGM Studios expanded Amazon's streaming content library, increasing differentiation with Prime. These horizontal acquisitions allow Amazon to fill product and service gaps, influence industry standards, and strengthen its ecosystem strategy. On the vertical integration side, Amazon has integrated both upstream and downstream. Backward integration includes owning AWS infrastructure and fulfillment centers, which reduce reliance on third-party suppliers. Forward integration includes Amazon Logistics and Amazon Air, giving the company direct control over last-mile delivery. By controlling more stages of the raw materials to customer value chain, Amazon lowers transaction costs, improves coordination, enhances speed, and increases customer loyalty. This creates structural advantage that competitors struggle to replicate.
Amazon diversification strategies What does related link mean? In related link strategy, business units share some but not all resources. They are connected, but they are not identical. There are also no single dominant activity. Instead of multiple business units contribute significantly to companies' overall performance. Amazon is a strong example of this. For example, Amazon Prime's bundleless streaming, shipping, grocery benefits, and gaming under one membership. This connects multiple business units together through a shared customer ecosystem. Customer data and AI insight also flow across all units. The data collected from retail helps improve advertising. AWS supports analytics. Everything is connected through technology and data. Looking at business unit, AWS generated over 107 billions in revenue and share across the company. It supports Amazon retail operation while also serving external customer. Advertising bring in over 50 billion in leverage Amazon retail audience. It's directly connect through a core e-commerce platform. Prime subscription generate around 40 billions and connected the entire ecosystem through the shared custom base. Whole food and physical store are more loosely connected, but they still support Amazon retail strategy. Finally, One Medical and pharmacy are largely separate, but they are growing and expanding Amazon into healthcare. Overall, Amazon diversification works because its business or strategy linked through share, data, customer, and technology create a strong energies while still allowing each other to operate independently. Economics of scoop happen when a company produces multiple products or services at a lower combined cost by sharing resources across them. Amazon is one of the best real-world example of this strategy. First, let's look at AWS. AWS originally built to support Amazon's own retail operations, things like website hosting, data storage, and internal system. It started as a fixed cost center, but instead of keeping it internal, Amazon monetized it externally. Today, AWS generates over 107 billions in revenue. A shared internal capability become a major profit center. Next is Amazon Prime. With one subscription fee, customer gets shipping, video, music, gaming, and grocery benefits. This spreads customer costs across multiple services. Instead of marketing each services separately, Amazon bundled them, increasing customer lifetime value while lowering per services cost. Then we have the fulfillment network. Amazon built a massive network for its own retail operation. The fixed cost of warehouse and distribution centers are now spread across both Amazon retail's marketing sellers, improving efficiency and margins. Finally, data and advertising. Amazon collects valuable retail behavior data. That same data power targeting Alexa, AI, Prime recommendations, and AWS machine learning services. One core data asset generated revenue across multiple business lines at a lower margin cost. If you look at the revenue chart, you can see how this flywheel competence, AWS Prime, marketplace fees, and advertising, each generate significant revenue, but they all connected through share, data, and customer relation. Overall, Amazon economic of scoop allowed it to turn share access into multiple revenue streams, lowering costs while strengthening its competitive advantage.
According to Lecture 10, restructuring involves reorganizing and divesting business units to refocus on a firm's core competencies and improve profitability. Amazon provides a strong example of strategic restructuring following a period of aggressive expansion during COVID-19. Amazon significantly expanded its workforce, logistics network, and new ventures to meet surging demand. However, as demand normalized, post-pandemic growth slowed and cost pressures increased. In response, Amazon implemented restructuring initiatives, including workforce reductions across multiple divisions, closure of Amazon Care, and the elimination of certain experimental retail concepts. These actions reduced bureaucratic costs and allowed the company to streamline operations. Rather than reflecting failure, this restructuring represents strategic discipline. Amazon refocused resources on its most profitable and scalable segments, particularly AWS and advertising. This demonstrates an effort to ensure that diversification and expansion continue to pass the better off test, meaning the firm is more valuable after strategic changes than before. Overall, restructuring strengthened Amazon's long-term competitive positioning by aligning cost structure with strategic priorities.
Amazon's internal and external stakeholders. Amazon's stakeholders are what keeps everything for Amazon on track. Amazon stakeholders play a critical role in keeping the company operating effectively and strategically aligned. Internal stakeholders such as employees, managers, executives, and shareholders are directly involved in decision-making and daily operations, with primary interests in profitability, performance, and organizational growth. External stakeholders, on the other hand, they include customers, suppliers, government agencies, competitors, and communities, and they all influence Amazon from outside of the organization by shaping demand, regulatory requirements, and market conditions. Amazon's ability to balance the needs of both groups is essential to maintain efficiency, compliance, and long-term competitive advantage in a rapidly evolving global marketplace.
This framework evaluates stakeholders based on three factors: power, legitimacy, and urgency. Let's start with customer. In 2024, Amazon reported approximately 638 billion in sales, with AWS revenue growing 19% years over year and over 10 billion items shipped same or next day. Customers have high powers because they drive revenue, high legitimacy as a core stakeholder, and a medium to high urgency because their expectation for speed and services are constant. This makes customer one of Amazon's most critical stakeholders. Next are employees. Amazon employs over 1 million people globally, with an average base wage about $22 per hour. Employees have medium to high power, high legitimacy, and high urgency, especially regarding workplace safety, weight, and labor condition. Now, shareholders and investors. Revenue increased 11% in operating income, 86% year over year because investor influence capital access and strategy direction. They have high power and have high legitimacy with medium urgency depending on financial performance. Regulator and government are also highly salient. Amazon continue expanding its electric fleet, reduce packaging by 16.4%, contribute over 1 trillion to GDP, and supports more than 5 billion US job. Regulator has high power, high legitimacy, and high urgency due to labors and environmental oversight. Suppliers and third party sellers are another key group. Over 60% of Amazon retail's sell come from third-party sellers, supports more than 2 million US jobs. They have medium power but high legitimacy since they rely on Amazon platform to operate. Amazon committed 2.4 billion to housing initiative and delivery over 60 million meals. These stakeholders have medium power, legitimacy, and urgency, but they remain important for Amazon long-term reputation and social license to operate. Overall, this analysis shows that Amazon must balance multiple high salience stakeholders, especially customer, investor, employees, and regulator, while maintaining trust across its border ecosystem. Managing this relationship effectively is critical to sustain long-term competitive advantage.
Amazon's corporate governance. Amazon's corporate governance is strengthened by a strategic balance of inside and outside directors on its board of directors. Inside directors, such as the CEO, who is Andy Jassy, provide in-depth knowledge of the company's operations and strategic direction, while outside directors offer independent oversight, monitor executive performance, and protect shareholders' interests. This governance structure enhances accountability, minimizes conflicts of interest, and promotes transparent, effective decision-making that supports Amazon's long-term growth and shareholder value. Amazon's key board members and their roles. Jeff Bezos, who is the executive chair, he's the founder and former CEO. He provides strategic oversight. And also, as I stated before, Andrew Jassy, he is the director, president, and the CEO. He leads overall strategy, including AI and cloud initiatives. Keith Alexander, he is a director, and he is a member of the Security Committee. Edith W. Cooper is another director, and they bring expertise in human capital. Jamie Gorelick, another director, serves on the Nominating and Corporate Governance Committee. Daniel Houtenlocker, another director, serves on the Security and Compensation Committee. Andrew is also another director. He is an AI expert, and he was added to the board around 2024. And that's really when AI started to take off. Indra Nooyi, another director, is a former Pepsi CEO, and she brings extensive corporate leadership. Jonathan Rubenstein, another director, focuses on product and technology strategy. Brad Smith, another director, brings experience from Intuit. You may have heard of that. That's TurboTax. And other various corporate boards. Patricia Stonesifer, another director, is a longtime board member. So she has previous experience, through all of the years with Amazon. And we also have Wendell Weeks, another director. They are the CEO of Cornig, and they provide industrial and tech expertise.
For question 9, I'm applying agency theory to Amazon by identifying the principal and the agent and analyzing the associated agency costs. In Amazon case, the principals are the shareholders and the agent is the CEO and executive management team. Shareholders own the company, but the executive control daily operations and strategic decisions. Because Amazon generated approximately 574.8 billion in revenue and 30.4 billion in net income in 2023. The scale of the company created a significant information asymmetry. Shareholders cannot directly monitor every operation decision across such a large global organization. To reduce agency problem, Amazon used several governance mechanisms. First, incentive cost. CEO Andy Jassy 2023 compensation was approximately 29 million, largely stock-based. This aligns with financial interest with shareholder because his wealth increased when Amazon stock price increased. This reduced the likelihood of self-serving behavior. Second, monitor cost. Amazon has an independent board of directors, SEC reporting requirement, and external audit. These mechanisms increase transparency and oversight. Third, enforcement costs. Executive contracts include performance based compensation and oversight authority from the board, which can replace leadership if necessary. There is still potential agency risk. For example, Amazon reinvests heavily into infrastructure and acquisitions, which could create moral hazard if executives take excessive risk. However, stock-based compensation help mitigate this issue. Overall, Amazon governance structure reduced agency costs by aligning management incentive with shareholder value while maintaining oversight mechanisms.
When we apply the concepts of adverse selection and moral hazard to Amazon, we see that these risks are especially significant in platform-based business models. Starting with adverse selection, this occurs when one party has more information than another, creating the risk that low-quality participants enter the market. In Amazon's case, third-party sellers account for more than 60% of total unit sales. While this expands product variety and scale, it also increases the risk of counterfeit goods and fake reviews appearing on the platform. This risk becomes even more significant when we consider Amazon's size. Industry estimates suggest that Amazon controls roughly 40% of US e-commerce sales. That means any breakdown in product quality or seller integrity would affect a substantial portion of online retail activity. According to Amazon's 2023 Brand Protection Report, the company invested over $1.2 billion in fraud and counterfeit prevention in a single year. That same report notes that Amazon seized and destroyed more than 7 million counterfeit products in 2023. These numbers highlight how seriously Amazon views the threat of asymmetric information to its marketplace and brand reputation. Moral hazard is also present in Amazon's ecosystem. Sellers may attempt to exploit platform policies or manipulate reviews because they do not bear the full reputational cost of harming the broader marketplace. In cloud computing, AWS customers may overconsume scalable resources without carefully managing usage, since infrastructure can be adjusted dynamically. These behaviors create inefficiencies and potential reputational risk if left unmanaged. Amazon mitigates these risks through strong governance mechanisms. In its latest transparency report, the company disclosed that it blocked or removed more than 6 million fraudulent sellers' accounts in 2023. The company relies heavily on artificial intelligence systems to monitor seller behavior, verify product authenticity, and detect suspicious activity before it reaches consumers. These systems reduce information asymmetry and help protect platform integrity. From a strategic standpoint, managing adverse selection and moral hazard is essential to sustaining Amazon's competitive advantage. Because Amazon operates as a dominant marketplace platform, maintaining customer trust is critical to preserving network effects and long-term growth.
Amazon's building blocks. Amazon's organizational structure reflects high levels of specialization, formalization, and a hybrid approach to centralization and decentralization. Specialization is evident through its division of labor across key business units such as e-commerce, AWS, Amazon Web Services, and logistics. These allow employees to focus on specific roles that drive efficiency and innovation. Formalization is also strong with standardized processes, performance metrics, and strict operational procedures ensuring consistency, scalability, and quality control. At the same time, Amazon balances centralization and decentralization. Most companies are either or, but Amazon does this by keeping strategic decisions such as long-term investments and platform policies at the executive level, while delegating operational decisions to teams to promote speed and adaptability. They let them pivot and sometimes make their own decisions, just, to get the feel that maybe their decisions may be better in, a particular situation, because they are on the front line. And this combination results in a structure that blends mechanistic and organic elements. This enables Amazon to maintain control while remaining flexible and innovative in a highly competitive environment.
When analyzing Amazon's organizational structure using the framework from Lecture 12, it's clear that Amazon does not operate as purely mechanistic or purely organic. Instead, it intentionally blends elements of both structures to support different parts of its overall strategy. Lecture 12 explains that mechanistic organizations are highly structured, specialized, and formalized. They focus on efficiency, consistency, and centralized coordination. Organic organizations, on the other hand, are more flexible, decentralized, and collaborative, which supports innovation and adaptability. If we look at Amazon's retail and logistics operations, they strongly reflect mechanistic characteristics. These areas require tight coordination and consistent execution at an enormous scale. Employees in fulfillment centers perform highly specialized tasks. Performance is tracked using detailed metrics, and processes are standardized to ensure speed and reliability. Major operational decisions are directed from senior leadership to maintain cost control and alignment with corporate objectives. This structure supports Amazon's cost leadership strategy in e-commerce. To deliver products quickly and at a low price, the company must operate efficiently and eliminate unnecessary variation. A more flexible structure in these operational areas could reduce consistency and increase costs. However, Amazon cannot rely only on a highly structured system. In divisions such as AWS, advertising, and new product development, the company operates much more organically. Amazon's two-pizza team approach allows small teams to make decisions quickly and experiment with new ideas without excessive layers of approval. Communication flows across teams, and employees are encouraged to test and improve products rapidly. This flexibility is essential to technology-driven markets where innovation and speed create competitive advantage. A rigid structure would slow development and reduce responsiveness to market changes. At the corporate level, Amazon follows a multi-divisional structure. Major business units like retail, AWS, and advertising operate with their own profit and loss responsibility. This allows each division to structure its operations in a way that best supports its strategic goal, while still aligning with Amazon's overall corporate direction. What makes Amazon particularly effective is how intentionally it aligns structure with strategy. Its retail operations are built for scale and efficiency, while its technology segments are designed for flexibility and growth. Rather than choosing one model, Amazon uses structure strategically, depending on the demands of each business unit. This directly reflects the principle from Lecture 12 that strategy and structure are interdependent. Amazon's ability to balance control with flexibility enables it to pursue both cost leadership and differentiation at the same time, strengthening its overall competitive advantage.
I'm analyzing Amazon organization structure and how it fits with their diversification and global strategy. Amazon primarily use multi-divisional structure, also known as the M form structure. In this structure, the company is divided into strategic business unit, or the SBUs, and each division has its own profit and loss responsibility. For example, Amazon major division include North America retail, international retail, AWS, and advertising. In 2023, AWS alone generated approximately 90.8 billion in revenue and accounting for the majority of Amazon operation income. This shown that each division operate almost like its own business within the large corporation. This structure fits Amazon related link diversification strategy. Amazon operates in multiple business: e-commerce, cloud computing, advertising, streaming, but they all share core competency like logistics, infrastructure, data analytics, and technology platform. Because the division share resources, Amazon benefit from economic of scope. For example, AWS technologies support internal operations and customer data from retail strengthen advertising. The multi-divisional structure allows each division to focus on its own strategy while still leveraging shared corporations' resources. This structure also supports Amazon transactional global strategy. Headquarters provides centralized strategy direction and technology integration, but operational decisions are decentralized within division to allow flexibility within different markets. For example, international retail division adapt to local regulation and consumer behavior, while AWS maintains standardized global infrastructure for efficiency. Overall, Amazon AIM form structure align with both its diversification strategy and its own global strategy by balancing control, specialization, and flexibility. This structure fit strengthen Amazon's ability to innovate while maintaining scale.